I'm back. What's up guys? I'm back on YouTube. I hope you're well and everything is good. Was a bit silent on the channel for the last weeks because I had this little viral bug that has been going around here. Where I got it is not quite sure, but it was something that also affected the lungs and the immune system quite a lot. So we had to really dial back and just had like 8 to 10 hours of like moving, keeping active a week, nothing really exciting, but I learned tons of things from it, which I want to share with you as well. So that's really exciting. So from a physical standpoint, I learned something really interesting about my body. Just before I had the sickness, so like 1 or 2 weeks before, I had some really good sessions. I had like a back-to-back session, like a 4.5-hour bike ride, and the last 90 minutes of that were actually at 330 watts with like really good aerobic heart rate. And the next day, a longer run indoors, 27K in circles. And like a few days after that, I had a little bit the right tendon side of the hip, a little bit like just stiff. So I noticed, okay, this is something you have to look at. And then later on I did. So actually it was more the hip flexor. I'm working really on my cadence a lot in running at the moment. Cadence is something that was with me really low. I'm more like a strength athlete. So you easily drop with that to like 160 cadence, 162, really low. And for Ironman, that's an efficiency that's too low. So you need to get it to like the 170 range for that, especially when you're running hills, where like Kona and all that, it's super key to maintain speed. So yeah, right hip flexor, looked at it. Why do I have an issue at that one area? Why is it stiff there more than other areas? Most likely it's something related to weakness. Yes, that area get maybe more strained because of certain things. For example, I ran loops in a track, and that's something, of course, if you always do a left corner, that puts more strain on one side. But I still was curious, so I did some tests in the gym, and I did these 2 exercises now to fix it. Now it's completely gone. I always had on the right side a little bit, you know, this hip clicking when you do the ab exercises with the legs down, for example. Then it sometimes clicked a little bit, not painful. So if you have that, I really recommend those 2 exercises. So first one is that you just take a mini band, one of those rubber bands, and you just stand against the wall. Important that you really tense your glutes, your butts on the side that you're standing on, tilt your pelvis back, and then pull the leg up. Quite quick actually, not too slow, because you don't want the quads doing the work. You want it to come from the hip flexors. The hip flexors are definitely needed in the aero position. They need to be strong, especially running off the bike then as well. So that's a muscle group that's quite often forgotten, but needs to have actually a lot of strength and mobility, both, in order to really perform well in running. The second exercise that really helped me is when you use the normal ab machine. You just go in like before, but now it's really important that you straighten your back before you start. Then you go slowly down with your chest really pumped out to the front. So you have a straight spine, go slowly back like an eccentric motion. That way you get the hip flexor get eccentrically loaded, so like in an elongated state. That is super good for strengthening. Then you go back up and down again. Important when you're down, you rotate a little bit. That gives a different load to the hip flexor and a little more load as well. And something like 6 to 10 reps, slowly down, like at least 3 to 6 seconds, slowly down as far as you can, that you feel you don't have a click in the hip, so it's not jumping the hip flexor. And then you go up again like normal motion. Makes it really strong, really good exercise for that one, and will help you in running as well. Then I looked in the gym as well, just like easy stuff. When I was sick, I couldn't do so much, like I said. So I looked at my hamstrings as well, and I noticed the ratio between quad strength and hamstring strength was actually quite a big difference still. For example, leg extension, single legged, like 6 reps I do at the moment. There I have something like 37 kilos for one leg. I built it up, they were actually not so strong. And the rear, the hamstring single leg is just 25 kilos for 6 reps, like 3 sets. So there's quite a big difference when you think about it. 35 for the front of the muscles, the quads, and 25 for the back. That's quite a big difference. When you look for elite runners, they, for example, they are the most efficient. They have almost a 50-50 ratio between the quads, so the front of your leg, and the hamstrings in the back. And that is of course super good for efficiency. Even in triathlon, you need to have that to be as efficient as possible, especially in an Ironman when you're running for a long time. Efficiency is everything, so those small things can make a difference. Yeah, then the third landing I had actually my stretching routine, which I did for so long that 1 or 2 weeks before I had this little tendon stiffness thing coming. I actually dropped that routine a little bit. I mean, I was training pretty heavy, but still, like, just when you don't have the massage weekly, and even if, like, really I noticed my body reacts so well just to get all this tension of like sitting in a bike for that duration so long. Running makes you stiff, and even swimming, but swimming probably the least of them. So when I really do this evening routine, I go there, I stretch it all out, I look which body part needs a bit more care, some foam rolling, just like really relax with music, make it like a fun thing, not really training, really like a zen mode for myself. So the impact of that, the positive impact is massive, and I'm gonna definitely keep doing it now every single day. While I had more time, I read a few books as well. One was about winning, with winning in mind, really good book I can recommend. That book is amazing. They talk about focusing on a winning performance. So before in training, well, that's what the author says, you should focus on winning. Yes, you want to say you want to win, but once you're actually in the race, you should never think about the outcome. So I see a lot of athletes, even on TV, they kind of drift of, okay, I only get 4th, I only get 5th. So then you're already taking away from the performance and from the moment itself. So, because I struggled, like, how do I approach this pro season, right? Especially in 70.3, if you don't run something like 110, 111, you're not gonna win, right? So this year, I'm somewhere probably 116, maybe 115, maybe 117. I'm not sure, it depends on the course. I hope to be in that range. That would be my goal for 70.3 half marathon this year. So I was thinking, like, how do I want to approach this? I'm really competitive. Of course I want to win, but you have to be realistic in the first 70.3. Ironman is a different thing. 70.3, the chances of me winning are very low. So how do you approach it mentally? That was a struggle for me, and that took me a few weeks to figure out, because I don't want to be outcome driven and only think about the time and the ranking, because that will definitely pull you down. So how do you do that you go to a pro race, to your first pro race, and what mindset do you want to be in? Everybody's nervous before the races. This is absolutely normal, but I found a way now how I want to do this. So that's also something on the channel I want to be truthful with and honest with, and I want you to keep me accountable. If you feel like, I think Matti might have been slacking that one a little bit, the way he talks, you can point it out in the comments in next year. I'm absolutely actually grateful for it, even if it stinks a little bit, because what I see happening in the pro triathlon world a lot is this kind of, like, they call it even tactics, but they sit in, you know, they sit in the swim, okay, let's stay here. They sit in the bike, they sit here, and then maybe I can run and maybe win like that. I don't know any high performer that thinks like that. From the gun, I think, especially in other sports, when you look at Michael Jordan, you need to have this hunger and this intent to win.
What does triumph mean? What do you associate with triumph?
Winning, all the time, winning.
3, that's enough, isn't it?
Enough for you?
Enough for you.
No, it's never enough. It's never enough as long as you compete. You know, it's always great to win. That's why you compete. And I think, you know, we're going to certainly try to do this for the 4th time. You know, but right now the 3rd time was a lot of damn work.
So that's my goal, that every single race I start at, I want to try to win. So what that means is, for example, in the swim, I want to be really at the front and really push it as good as possible, be smart, like there actually sit in more or less, but on the bike, I don't want to sit in. If I sit in just the whole day, this is basically for me like absolute failure. That would be the worst failure of the day, if I just sit in and basically lean back and say, okay, my race power is supposed to be 350 watts. I'm actually just doing 270. Oh, this is good because then I can run better. If I have that mindset ever in pro racing, I'm gonna be so mad at myself. Then I really failed at pro racing. So trying to win, keep trying to win on the bike, try to play the other guys, try to push, and then on the run, just do the best that you can, whatever that is. In the beginning, 70.3, I will be run down, but at least I try to win. So those things are really something that excites me from the first pro race, and every single race that you start, that you go with a mindset in, I'm gonna try to win. Although, you know, 70.3, I'm not going to win. It's 5% chance that we're going to win. Knowing that, but still always having that hunger, that mentality to attack, and really never have this like sitting in mentality, this like, oh, this almost is really disappointing to hear from people that I follow and thought, okay, they're really champions, and they talk about that. That's really something that like Jan Frodeno, for example, doesn't do, right? The reason why he's so good, he wants to be the front, he wants to be fit and leading the charge. Of course, in order to do that, you need to be extremely fit and well trained to have a shot at doing that. So I'm going to build it up over the years and over the next few months and everything to be in the position physically that you're eventually, of course, completely gone and at the front and you grip the tape first. And another little thing that I did during the time that I had more time of training, I built a video editing business. I founded a company as well for triathlon and marketing and anything regarding the help. If you want to support the channel or my journey, I can help you with the video editing for either your TikTok, Instagram Reels or anything like that. But anything video editing really, also YouTube or your website. I got a lot of practice in that now, got better and better. And here's a little short clip, 40 seconds, hang in there. This is just the YouTube version, what I can offer, how I can help you. Let's go. Hey, what's going on? My name is Matti Weitz. Thanks for checking out this gig. I specialize in video editing for TikTok, Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. For videos under 60 seconds, it's super important that you have a hook at the beginning that really gets the viewer engaged. From then on, it's a mission to keep the viewer watching. We can do that with transitions, emojis that really highlight what you're trying to say. You need good subtitles and music that you choose and I edit into your video. If you're interested in getting your social media account to the next level, just reach out and let's chat. If you, your friend or your company need help with video editing, I'm happy to help. The link is in the description. It goes to Fiverr, that's a freelance software, and there you can get in touch with me and say what you need and we can figure it out. Anyways, I'm checking out for this week. I hope everything is going well, your training is going well, and we attack 2023 regardless. If you has also been a little sick or had off time or didn't get into training yet, that's okay. It's a long season, we have a lot of time, so just get back into training like I do now, building it back up, and I see you next week. Bye. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. You can really help me out if you like and subscribe, push your notification bell, comment below what you want to see next, and I see you in the next video.